Alright, the spring break season is here, and Pinellas County has always been a go-to location to hit the beach, grab some eats, and break some spring. But as a born and raised local here, I've always noticed that there's a handful of things that people wish they knew before they visited, so that's what this video is going to be. I'm going to cover a lot of different things in this video, most of which you can see on the TV behind me right now. But if you're looking for something specific, I've time-coded every chapter of this video in the description. But I highly encourage you watch the entire video. You might learn something. And I need that watch time, so let's get into it. Crosswalks. Yes, I am literally going to teach you how to cross the street. And this is actually why I made this video. A lot of people get hit by cars here, so I want to make sure that when you're visiting, that doesn't happen to you. This is a serious issue. I live on Gulf Boulevard. I face crossing the street every single day. It's dangerous. And you might think, oh yeah, crossing the road, I look both ways. I'm telling you, it's dangerous. These are our pedestrian crosswalks here in town, but more specifically, this is the button that you push to make the crosswalk lights go off. Now, you're gonna wanna push that and then wait. Just give it like 10 seconds, do the whole left and right thing, and make sure that everybody stops. This is the problem. A lot of people will see those lights and think, oh, yellow light, let me just get through it. I can beat the red light. This is not a yellow light, this is somebody's life. So if you are driving and you see those yellow lights, just give it 2 seconds. Just let the family cross the street. You can't slip by. Please, don't gamble with other people's lives. And don't gamble with your own. Give it some time. Make sure those cars stop and then you can cross the street. You can give them a little wave. You can say, hi, thanks, it's great. But it's just a real quick 1-2. Now, if you're driving Gulf Boulevard, I will say these are like every maybe 100 yards. So if you're driving on Gulf Boulevard, prepared to stop frequently. You're on island time, okay? This is vacation land, all right? You got nowhere to be. Just slow down. Added note, look at this. Okay? Not this, not that. Okay? Riptides. This is also a very serious, like, I'm just gonna knock out the serious ones quick. Riptides, let's talk about them. I can't stress this enough. Even the strongest of swimmers have struggled with a riptide. Now, thankfully, you can see a riptide literally from standing on the beach. So if you keep your eyes out and you know what to look for, that's a riptide. Stay away from it. But if you do get caught in a riptide, let me tell you how to get out of it. There's a couple things you can do, but what you do not want to do is try to fight the current. You just can't. It's a strong current and it's literally ripping you out to sea. So what you want to do is hit the sides in the skinniest part of the current. You can swim out from the end there, or, and this is going to sound wild, just ride it. Ride it out till the current breaks, and then you can swim out from the back of it, and then you can make it back to shore. It's exhausting, and if you can't necessarily swim out of the current, just try to tread water. Again, it'll pull you out there. And that's when you want to like start wailing your hands and be like, help. It's a little embarrassing, but it's better to be embarrassed than underwater for the rest of your life. You know what I'm saying? This is basically what I'm saying. These signs are all over the beach, so if you forget while you're there, you can just try to find one of these signs, and it'll remind you. Stingray Shuffle. Now, this is a lot less life-threatening. Still very painful though. I actually made an entire video about this recently, so instead of me just yapping about it here, let's watch. It is that time of the year again. Stingrays are upon us. They're technically always out here, but mating season is coming up, and I want to tell you how to avoid a poisonous sting. They look a lot more menacing in this photo. They're actually pretty cute in real life. I filmed this video the other day, and that's kind of what inspired this video. So I'm going to teach you how to do the Stingray Shuffle, but first, here's all of the trash I found today. Just a big honking cup of gross. Now, before we start dancing to the Stingray Shuffle, I want to tell you a couple things about stingrays. For starters, this is how they sting you. Pretend my hand is a stingray and my fingers are the stingers. What a stingray will do is bury itself right under the surface of the sand just offshore. And if you come stomping your big dogs around and step on it, pop! The stingers come up and get you like that. And now I'm all sandy. But I would rather be sandy than stung because I myself have been stung by a stingray. And let me tell you, not fun. I got stung in my ankle, and the best way I can describe the feeling, it's like if your blood turned to jello for a second and then went back to blood. It is a bizarre feeling. Now, I will tell you how to handle it if you do end up getting stung by a stingray, but first, let's learn the dance. This is called the Stingray Shuffle, and it looks a little something like this. And go right foot up, left foot slide. Just kidding, that's the Tootsie slide, and that's not gonna help you at all. Basically, your main objective here is to just cloud up the sand and never pick up your feet, because if you pick up your feet, you might step on one. So you kind of want to just nudge them out of the way. It looks like this, something like this. You feel me? See how the sand is kind of clouding up around me? Ah, way to ruin it, sick butt. Here's what it looks like in fast motion for no other reason other than I think it's funny. So that's how it works. If you cloud up enough sand around you, it lets the stingrays know you're coming, so they kind of just leave. They don't want to sting you, but they will. So what do you do if you actually do get stung? See a doctor. But, you know, if you're on the beach and you're far away from the doctor and you don't want to ruin everyone's beach day, there is a way to handle it outside of that, which I will tell you, but see a doctor if you're able. If you're on the beach and you get stung, you want to go up to the closest hotel, bar, restaurant, whatever you can, and get a hot bucket of water. If you got stung on your foot, you're gonna put your foot into the water, and sometimes people add dish soap, maybe a little bit of Dawn, that seems to help, but really you just wanna fry it. When I got stung, I soaked my foot in a piping hot bucket of water, and I was back on the beach like 2 hours later. I was fine. But let me tell you, it is not fun, and you don't wanna do it, so shuffle up, baby. Wow. Thanks, Colin. Now again, mating season is starting in April, but stingrays can be spotted year-round, so this is something you kind of actively want to practice just to be safe. It's not a fun feeling. Okay, now we're going to get into some of the more fun things and not so serious things, starting with this, dog-friendly areas. Now, St. Pete has been awarded and is known as one of the most dog-friendly cities in this country. But that's not always the case when you get to the beach. We don't have pearly white sand year-round for no reason. Now, that doesn't mean you can't bring your dog out to some type of beach. There are a few dog beaches. After the hurricanes hit last year in 2024, it has changed a little bit, and some of these dog beaches aren't open, so you're going to want to check first. But I hate to say it, you can't just bring your dog out to any beach. It's a $500 fine, and as cute as it is watching them run around and dig in the sand, it scares our shorebirds. It's also not great for other tourists who necessarily don't want that happening around them. So no worries, I'm not gonna end this chapter here. I have a friend I'd like you to meet. This is my puppy Finn, and we're gonna tell you some of our favorite dog-friendly places in the area. He's a little bit tired, so he's actually gonna go back to sleep, but I'll continue the segment. This is Seminole Lake Park. It has a 2-mile walking park, and me and Finn go there often. It's really, really nice. It feels like you are in natural Florida, untouched besides the pavement that they give you to walk on. It's one of my favorite places to go, and here's a video of Finn walking through it. Adorable. Quick heads up though, beware of gators. There's one right there just chilling. And he's probably a great little snack. Now, if you're not really into like walking through the park or going to the beach, there are dog bars. We have Dog Bar, literally. We also have Mutts and Martinis. There's also Barks and Brews. There's, like I said, it's incredibly dog friendly, especially when you're downtown. You can almost walk into any place and they'll be like, hey, do you want some water for your dog? Lansing Park is also a great place to bring your dog because it is waterfront. It's not necessarily on the Gulf, but it is in the bay. Check the water quality before you do that. We are struggling with a little bit of a red tide going on, which could be moving into the area quite soon. So just to be safe, make sure your dog's not drinking any of the water, first of all. You don't want your dog drinking salt water. But then if they have any cuts or anything, it could affect them as well. So just really keep an eye on that. Speaking of Gulf versus Bay, sunsets and sunrises. Now, this is one of the most unique cities in all of Florida, in my opinion, because you can watch a sunrise over the water and a sunset over the water in the same day and still have a whole day in between. And I'm going to show you how to do that. One of my favorite all-time sunrise spots is Vinoy Park. It's going to rise over Tampa. You're going to see all of the lights. It's really super pretty. And if you're lucky, well, I'll get into that in the next chapter. It's actually really fun. But then if you just go literally down Park or Central, you can get to the beach and watch the sunset. Now, let me give you some of my favorite sunset spots. Sunset Beach, Clearwater Beach, St. Pete Beach, Fort DeSoto Park. Any of these places, they're going to be great. And don't be fooled. If it is a cloudy day and you think, oh, this sunset is going to suck, I am telling you, a cloudy sunset is far better than a clear sky sunset. Not to say that those aren't beautiful, but it's pretty much just one color when there's no clouds. But when there are clouds, you get some of the most insane display. These are photos I've taken. And these are photos of the sunrise from the beach facing west. So you could just stand on the beach and watch the sky. You're going to have a great time at any point in the day. Dolphin sightings. I mean, let's talk about it. It's great. I can't guarantee you're going to see a dolphin, but there are dolphin tours here that say if you don't see a dolphin, we'll give you your money back. But you could do it without even going on those tours, and I'm going to tell you how. So basically, if you just literally walk up to the shore of the beach and just stand there, most likely early in the morning, this is the best time to see them, they'll pop up, and they'll pop up in little pods. They love attention. So once they know that people are looking at them, they kind of hang around in the same spot for a little bit. And then if you're on the intercoastal side of Gulf Boulevard, that's where you're going to see them often as well. They like to hang out in that spot. If you're downtown, right by the pier and right in Vinoy Park on that seawall where I was saying you could watch the sunrise, dolphins are famously there all the time. If you're out looking for dolphins, it won't take long for you to find some. You can also go to Clearwater Marine Aquarium, where Winter the Dolphin, rest her soul, was. They have great dolphins. Now, this is a rehabilitation center for these dolphins. These dolphins were deemed unfit to go back into nature themselves, so they're homed here at Clearwater Marine Aquarium, and they have one of the most beautiful aquariums I've ever been to. So if you're standing there in their giant tank, they'll come up to you and interact with you. It is so cute, and I definitely recommend it. And speaking of adorable animals, let's talk about sea turtle nesting season. So sea turtle nesting season is from May 1st to October 31st. And I'm just going to give you things that you shouldn't do, because you're not gonna want to interact with the turtles even if you do see them, which is number one. So seeing a sea turtle is a very rare sighting. Let me say that, because they come I'm not even gonna tell you when they come, because I don't want you to go looking for them. Secondly, when you see a nest, don't do this. Stand on it, mess with it, take photos of it. And here's why you don't want to take photos of it, because if you take photos of it, it tells people where the nest is, and then people go mess with it. So just kind of observe, kind of read the rules that are on the nest, and just be happy that you saw the nest. Now, if you're kind of going about your beach day near a turtle nest, here's what you can also do to help make sure all of these baby sea turtles have the best shot at getting into the ocean. 1, if you make a sandcastle, just knock it down. You can build the biggest sandcastle you want in the world. Just make sure it's flat by the end of the night, so if these baby sea turtles hatch the next morning, they're going to have just like a straight runway. And that also goes with holes. I've been seeing some of the largest, deepest holes in the sand on the beach recently, and go off. Dig down to the center of the earth if you'd like, but just fill it in when you leave. The hole is not supposed to outlive you, right? You could just fill it in, and that again will give the sea turtles the straightest runway. And the last one is pretty obvious. Just pick up trash. I don't know any baby sea turtles wanting to encounter plastic as one of the first things they've ever encountered in their lifetime. So as long as the beach is clean and flat and dark, these baby sea turtles have the best shot at making it to the ocean. Now, I've also partnered with our local tourism agency, so if you want to know things about where's the best nightlife spot, where's the best place to eat, where's the best place to spend the day, in my opinion, you can go to their website. They're going to start featuring some of their creators on there and all of their answers. So even if you don't like the answers that I've kind of tailored my page to, there's a whole bunch of other answers. So check out Visit SPC either on Instagram or go to their website, and they'll give you basically the entire rundown of this county. So I hope this helped. I hope you stay safe while you're visiting this year, and I will see you soon with another video. Peace.